Hey, what's up everyone? This is, like the first video I think I've done in a while, and I'm tired of, lying and saying I'm gonna make a video when I really am not. So I'm just gonna be upfront right here. This is the first video I'm gonna do, and I don't know when I'm gonna do my next video. But this is the first time I've done a movie review in a while. As you can tell by the title down there, you know what it is. I wasn't even planning on watching this movie and doing a movie review, and if I do another movie review after this, it's probably going to be on Pacific Rim, which I went and saw with my brother, it contradicts his idea of the movie greatly, but anyway, let me just get on to the movie I'm talking about, which is Session 9. Me and my brother Brian were in my room last night, and we're just kind of sitting around, and he decided he wants to watch a horror movie, and go for it, we have Netflix, so just go ahead, we'll watch a horror movie. He picked this movie, Session 9. It was made in 2001. I didn't bother looking up the actor's name, even though I should know it. The guy on CSI Miami, he was on it. He wasn't the main character, but he was on it. I'm just going to go pros and cons, and kind of explain what I thought of this movie, whether I would recommend it, and kind of how well it fits the horror genre. So first, the pros. It had the guy from CSI Miami, so it had an established actor. That's a pro. I like the setting, the whole insane asylum thing. One reviewer, like a legitimate reviewer, actually was quoted as saying, "I almost liked this movie right away, simply because they were in an insane asylum and had a good reason to. They were removing asbestos. They were an asbestos removing company. They actually had a good reason to be doing what they were doing." Like, most of them, it's like, let's go hang out at the abandoned insane asylum, guys. I don't think it's such a good idea. Fuck you, Jim. But they actually had a good reason. The main character, Gordon, he just had a baby and such, so he's working there. I kind of like having a troubled main character, so even though it's kind of cheesy, just like as is the insane asylum thing, it's kind of cheesy, it's kind of generic, but I don't know, there's something about it I liked, that he was having kind of trouble, he just had a baby, and it kind of gave you a little touch of reality. And I guess the other thing I liked was the creepy tape reel. This obviously contains spoilers, if it wasn't obvious up to this point. The creepy tape that they find on, I think her name wasn't Emily, like Mary Hobbs, I think was the girl's name. I don't know, but I like that. I gotta get to the cons now, which you're obviously gonna be able to tell by the cons and the pros whether I like this movie or not. Cons. The acting was terrible. I've never these guys, I didn't get a sense of any of them. The young kid was the stereotypical young kid. He had a mullet. He was kind of a slacker, and he didn't really care, and he was like, dude, you're bumming me out and such. The main character was the cool, calm, and collected guy early on, and then he becomes the bad guy. The one guy, his friend, is at first the good friend who's always been there, and of course he becomes a douchebag over time, and there's of course the asshole character, and then there's the level-headed guy who's always no fun, all business, and of course he's the one who goes off and finds the tapes on Mary Hobbs. The characters sucked. The acting by them was terrible. At one point, you should probably look this up, in the movie, the guy from CSI Miami actually just looks at the guy and zooms on his face and he says, "Fuck you." It was a comedy, throughout a lot of it. Absolutely hilarious at some points, how bad it was acting-wise. There were no horror movie I want to be scared, or at least feel on edge. I didn't feel that until I think the final 10 minutes of the movie. Even the scenes where the guy was in, the basement, he's running and he's scared. The guy was just such a ridiculous character, and the fact that minutes earlier he found an empty can of peanut butter. How am I supposed to be frightened by that? How am I supposed to be, I'm worried something's gonna happen, what's around that corner? None of the scenes were scary. I wasn't on edge. I wasn't frightened by this movie. Even when the guy went missing, it was more funny than anything else. this movie, as far as acting went, was terrible, but it's more than that. Also, it's plot. Yes, at least it made sense why they were in they were removing asbestos from the insane asylum, but the fact that, you know, the one guy goes and he finds quarters in a wall, and he thinks he effing struck it rich. He found quarters, like, you know, even if they were dollar coins, which I don't know exactly what they were, he couldn't have been making more than maybe $500. The dude's gonna get paid $2,000 to do this job. I don't know why, you know, he was like, oh shit, made just $500 here in quarters or, you know, stuff. And that was ridiculous, and the whole movie was just like one comedy of errors after another. That guy, you know, being excited over quarters. The one guy, the creepy guy who's level-headed and such, the fact that they're searching, they're off and they're looking for the mustache guy, Hank, I believe his name was, and he's like, I'm gonna go check down in the downstairs here in the cellar. And the main character, Gordon's like, oh, okay. And what does he do? He goes off and he looks at the tapes. You're just gonna abandon your quest to find your friend who might be running around this insane asylum because, man, I just couldn't help but listen to these tapes and shit. The kid was ridiculous throughout the entire movie. I don't know if he was supposed to be comedy relief or what, but he wasn't funny. He was just ridiculous. He's like scared of everything. He doesn't understand anything. And he's like, guys, I saw Hank. And of course, CSI Miami guy was a complete asshole at this point. He's like, fuck you, you didn't see shit. The whole movie was just one after another, just a joke. There's nothing scary about this movie. There's nothing that I would put it in the horror genre. And the ending, to be honest, did not make sense. So, this guy snapped and killed his wife and kid. Was it Simon that did that, or was it, you know, just he went crazy? And if it was Simon, then how come we didn't learn more about Simon until, like, the last effing scene? I don't want to wait till the end of a movie to find my main villain. The last 2 seconds. I'm, like, in the last 2 seconds of the movie, and I find that, like, some alter ego took him over and shit. No. So, here's my diagnosis. Don't see this movie. Don't go looking for this movie. Don't watch this movie. It's not scary. It's not cool. It's not even funny enough at being a horror movie. It's not even Troll 2 funny. It is a terrible movie. I can't believe it got 3 out of 5 stars by a lot of the things that my brother looked up. He looked up reviews afterwards, and it was getting aces reviews. Very bad movie, made in 2001. The characters were unlikable, they weren't relatable, except for maybe the main character, but then again, we find out the main character murdered his wife and kids, so what do I know? He was relatable up until that point. And there was really just nothing scary about this movie. You wouldn't find yourself getting engrossed. You wouldn't find yourself sitting on the bed with, you know, popcorn, it's in the dark, and you're watching this and you're kind of shaking, it's like midnight, you're going to be laughing your ass off, if anything. I highly doubt that even. This movie wasn't even bad enough to be funny. So that's my review of Session 9. I'll probably do a review of Pacific Rim next. I don't think I'm going to be popular for my opinion of Pacific Rim, which is not a bad movie, by the way. It's going to be a good review. But hopefully I can actually make some videos. But for now, this is Pocket Naruto. See you later.